Hey guys, so I just started watching Star Trek Enterprise and I wanted to do a series review. I actually really like the show despite there being a lot of pros and cons. I'm going to go with cons real quick. That intro song was really hard for me to listen to. It didn't go with the Star Trek theme. Captain Archer was just a little bit soft, which isn't normal for Star Trek captains. The Vulcans seemed a little emotional and tense at points. And there wasn't a lot of character development. Now, there are a lot of pros. For me, the aliens were really believable. I thought they had a great cast that really complemented each other and went well together. They had a lot of interesting plots. I loved the ratings. And they had some amazing episodes. My favorite one was probably Hatchery, which was season 3. And to me, that was probably the funniest episode where I could not stop laughing. I also watch this with other people, so I'm not that weird. I also loved in season 3. There's Doctor's Orders and Stratagem, which was just really well written and an interesting story. Something I haven't heard of. I wouldn't have thought of. I didn't know where it was going, but it all came together very, very well. So that was nice. Since I watched this and since I like it, I've been recommending everyone watch this show, at least to give it a try. And a lot of people that actually watched it had told me that they're normally haven't really said anything until they got to the Cogenitor episode. And then it's like, wow, I love this show. So, and Cogenitor is probably one of my favorite episodes as well. And that's season 1. When I looked up on the sites, everyone said the fan favorite was Carbon Creek, and I understand why. It was a really good episode. It was about Vulcans and their first real visit to Earth, which was super interesting. I loved all of it. One thing that I really loved about this whole show was that the aliens were really believable. The first episode, which was, I believe, episode 3 or 4, and it's called Unexpected, and it's also a very funny show and episode and really worth watching. And these aliens that they met look completely different than us. You needed to depressurize and go through this thing in order to get on their ship, and then they still had problems getting on the ship. And I think that if there are others out there like that, they're not going to look exactly like us, but have a different nose and be exactly like us in every single way. So I know it's science fiction, but it's nice that I could kind of get into a show and just sort of believe it. I don't know if there's a lot of people out there that are into science like I am, but when I heard T'Pol's name, I thought, well, that's interesting because there's a physicist that won a Nobel Peace Prize in physics, obviously, in 1999, and his name was T'Pol. So I thought, well, maybe that was some kind of homage to him. But I looked it up, and T'Pol was named after the original series T'Pun, I believe. And so that's kind of sad. But I was hoping some of the names had meaning behind them, and so far I haven't been able to find anything. So with this show, I tried to spread it out. I wanted to watch 2 or 3 episodes a week, and I still finished it in about a month. So it's really, I love it, and I don't say this about too many shows, but it's definitely one of my favorites, and I know I will probably watch it again, probably really soon. I love the cast. I really liked the engineer, which was Trip, but I'm an engineer, so that's probably part of it. I also really like the cinematography and the lighting, because I know that the reason why the episode, or the season ended, not the season, the whole show Enterprise ended was not because a lot of people think nobody was watching it, but the audience was as large, almost the same exact numbers as Voyager. The reason why they ended was because they were spending, I think it was almost double what they were spending on Voyager. Now, it was way more believable, and it did feel like an experience every single time, which I really enjoyed and liked it. And I think once you start that, you can't turn around and say, oh, well, we're only getting as many viewers, so we need to cut the spending or whatever. We just, they just can't do that. So I kind of understand why it ended, but I did appreciate every single episode, and I wish I had gotten past the first episode when it first came out, because I would have watched it all the way through, and I know a lot of other people would have. But that intro song, that was hard to get through. And then the Vulcans were so different. And the Vulcans were part of my favorite. Like, I loved Spock and Tuvok. He was probably my favorite Vulcan. And T'Pol and the rest of the Vulcan High Command just came off so differently. But I'm really glad that I finally watched the show. And I hope that everyone gives it a chance. Thanks for watching.